what I find is, since I have now again interacted with a lot of filmmakers with projects, one, they really come with a lot of baggage of thought about what films division or what government channels would like to do and would not like to do. I find I am, as head of this organization, I am almost infinitely more open than most of the filmmakers, which I find quite shocking. I mean, most of the times they would be precluding a lot of things from their from their films purely on on presumptions about censor or presumptions about government or presumptions about the organization. Manikal made a film for Jammu and Kashmir tourism called Before My Eyes, and that is again, it's a commissioned film, a very different kind of a film. For many people it doesn't really work, for many people it really works beautifully, but yes, it was a very independent, very, very different kind of a film that was done. And with an established artist, organizations definitely would be willing to take a risk like that. And then it is up to the artist to kind of play around with whatever he's got and create something new.
Yeah, and let's be honest now, at least in this room, that government institution can still fight, at least more emotionally, metaphorically, with market we can't fight. Market said this will not sell, that's it. There's no way of pushing the envelope. So better that these spaces remain and we try to expand them, maybe painstakingly, but we should do that. Because market will not give even this much. Right? You know that. The channels or still any European channel we go to may allow us to do some experimental work. No Indian channel. Which Indian channel will give us space like this?
Well, that is why the importance of bodies like Films Division and NFDC, I mean, they have a huge role to play to cut the commercial constraints, which don't allow artistic things to happen. So, much artistic things to happen. So, I mean, there are things that are happening, some very interesting things, but I think institutions like these, government organizations like these have a great opportunity to really, I think, encourage. And I keep hearing great things about Mr. Kundu, and I hope that things continue on the nicer front, in terms of exciting things happening. But I think the scope that we have, and what I meant, of course, was not from the censorship point at all.
No, I know.
Yes, from the maturity and freedom aspect of the commissioner versus the commission, because sometimes I think that the commission people get very enthused to do things and it doesn't work out for whatever reasons. I think it always is a partnership, I feel. So if this kind of a thing happens, I at the end of it, I think I really want people to make these kinds of films. And I mean, you are in for a personal film always. Mukul is there. I'm there. I'm sure a whole lot of us. There's something about a personal film which becomes universal if it's well made.
The more the universal it is, the more the more personal it is, the more universal it becomes.
If it's done honestly and intelligently, I think. If you set out to please everybody and to make an epic, I think sometimes very often it doesn't work.
Sure. No, and of course not to at all discount the complete consummate level of skill that Manhattan has. And having seen his earlier films where he's recreating the silent film or early docu films and so on, where it's made to look scratched and blue and with blotches and so on, to give it a kind of authenticity to something which is completely fake and fictitious. So forever turning this entire thing of what is real and what is not on its head, and it's all real. It's all completely real. And
as long as there is an image in front of you, is as real as any other. Ultimately, screen is the leveler. Ultimately, screen is the leveler. But the thing is that as an experiment, let's say in next 2 years, let's think of 5 films produced by FD, where FD has pushed itself in terms of commission. And 5 films, so the filmmakers push themselves in terms of pushing yeah. I mean, okay, I mean, producer and director grow together. It's not that a producer give birth to the director or director gives birth to the producer. They grow up together. They're doing. They are not patron and this thing. I mean, we'll have a producer culture if we have a developed director's culture. Do we have that? I mean, in NBC is there. That's why Gaimadin is there, or people like Gaimadin are there. That's why NBC could come up. I mean, it's mutual. I mean, which you say golden era of the 60s. So Devpati, SMS Sastry. I mean, so the era of FD made them, or they made FD. I mean, it's chicken and egg.
So, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for done. Pleasure watching the
Thanks
film.
for running it. Really,
And,
great.